Hello everyone, and I'm Autobot Sonic, a Telltale Gamer, bringing latest in the ring Telltale games, Transformers, and more. So we're nearing the end of Transformers Cyberverse Season 2. With this, after this episode, we only have 2 more episodes left of the season, and I gotta say, this season has been a blast to watch, with the exception of, like, I Am the Allspark being the one disappointing episode. The rest of this season has been absolutely outstanding, and I've been really enjoying it for the most part. And this episode definitely serves as, honestly, the best episode in the Road for Cybertron arc so far. So this week we're going to be looking at Transformers Cyberverse Season 2, Episode 16, Ghost Town. And honestly, this is probably, I don't know if this is, you can really call this one a filler, because, well, yes, it's definitely a standalone episode. We get introduced to a brand new character in this episode, who I definitely think is going to be playing a major role later on in the series, if not towards the end of this season, definitely in Season 3, for sure. And also sets up possibly stuff for the rest of Season 2 and 3 as well. So we're going to go ahead and see everything this episode did right and what it did wrong. Now, Episode 16 starts off similarly to how Wiped Out actually started, with a conversation this time between Bumblebee and Cheetor instead of Bumblebee and Hot Rod. This time it's all about Cheetor reminiscing about his time on Earth and how Bumblebee says that he's going to be so excited to finally see Cybertron for the first time. And again, just as I said back during my time with Wiped Out, I really enjoy these little moments we get to have with Bumblebee interacting with other characters, especially here with Bumblebee and Cheetor, who I've really grown fond of their friendship that they've established throughout the last, like, 10 episodes or so. I've really enjoyed the interactions they've had. But as they're walking around, they pass by Windblade, who is just carrying the Allspark just nonchalantly, and they try to stop her, only realize that her eyes are, like, bright white, and her little face markings under her eyes are glowing white as well. So she just knocks back Cheetor and Bumblebee with, like, her wind turbines and just leaves the Ark with the Allspark. And so they run to go tell Optimus what's happened. And then, so while they're thinking about where they can find Windblade, Teletran X has already tracked her down to a nearby planet. And so he, alongside Bumblebee, Cheetor, and Hot Rod, all decide to go down and check it out. Now, once Optimus and the rest of the Autobots land on this planet, I gotta say, this is, just like I said with Wiped Out, how I love the designs of that episode. The art design for this episode, especially on this planet, is honestly so beautiful. The way the blues and the red foliage contrast each other, and the vast architecture that looks vaguely Cybertronian, I honestly love this episode in terms of its design. Again, just like that I said back in my review of Wiped Out, I honestly love just how beautiful the world of Cyberverse looks, because you can clearly tell with this episode of Wiped Out and a lot of episodes back in Season 1, Bolger Media or Allspark Animation, whoever's in charge of creating the designs for Cyberverse, you can clearly tell they put a lot of love and passion into this art style, and when they really want to make an episode look good, they can make an episode look good. I mean, this is just totally beautiful, and I love it. So while Bumblebee, Hot Rod, Cheetor, and Optimus are exploring the planet, they finally come across Windblade, who is seen digging into the ground of the planet seemingly to bury the Allspark in there. Hot Rod tries to go up to her to try and stop her, but she knocks him back again and retreats instead into this large abandoned building, hence the name of this episode, Ghost Town. Hot Rod tries to stop her, but is again stopped by Windblade, alongside several, like, defense systems that just pop out of all the walls and floors around them. So Optimus shields everyone while Bumblebee and Hot Rod blow open the door and they all run inside. While they're chasing Windblade, they get attacked by more, like, drones inside the structure. So Optimus, Bumblebee, and Hot Rod battle those, while Cheetor goes on ahead to chase after Windblade. He ends up getting separated from them in this little other room, while Optimus, Bumblebee, and Hot Rod finish off all the drones. And when it's time to get there, Windblade is already battling Cheetor and is nearly about to kill him when all of a sudden she she slams her sword into the ground right next to Cheetor's head and tells him and the rest of the Autobots not to interfere with her in an oddly masculine voice all of a sudden. So she suddenly just walks to the edge of this, like, balcony that she and Cheetor are standing on, and raises up the Allspark, once again using its Deus Ex Machina powers to essentially bring life to the building. But here's where the twist of this episode comes, and I was really not expecting this, but it's a really cool twist. So the twist is the thing that has taken over Windblade is actually a Titan that has crash-landed on Cybertron, on this planet thousands of years ago, named Croatan. And so Croatan's head slowly rises from that big pit that Windblade was behind, and so after she uses the Allspark to revive him, or like basically finish reviving him, I should say, because clearly he was just in a low power state. She ends up getting her mind back from him, and Windblade assures Cheetor and the rest of the Autobots that she did this willingly with Croatan. So here's where the big explanation comes in. So Croatan was a Titan that was sent to this planet to colonize it with several other Cybertronians traveling inside him. Though for some reason, when they landed, they were under attack by an unknown force that abducted all of the Cybertronians that arrived on this planet with Croatan. So Croatan was left weakened in this almost brain-dead state, where he was able to sense the Allspark and the Arc that was carrying it, and reach out to Windblade because as a city speaker, just like she does in the IEW comics, she has the ability to talk to Titans and basically have them speak through her. So basically Croatan takes control of Windblade again to basically tell his story to Optimus, Bumblebee, and Hot Rod and Cheetor. And so after he finishes, he explains that now that he's back at full power, he's going to leave the planet and find out whoever took all the Cybertronians that traveled to this planet with him and get them back. Now, honestly, I really, really like this twist, and the fact that Croatan mentions that it's this unknown force that has taken his people, that definitely leads me to believe we haven't seen the end of Croatan. We're definitely going to see him pop up again, either at the end of this season or Season 3, and considering I know that the Quintessence play a major part in Season 3, it could very well be that the Quintessence were the ones who attacked Croatan and took all the Cybertronians that traveled to that planet with him, and we'll be seeing more of him probably, if not at the end of Season 2, definitely in Season 3, so I'm really excited to see what Croatan brings to Cyberverse. But that's not all we have with this episode. There is a B-plot that definitely plays a pretty major role in probably this season and definitely the rest of Season 3 going forward, and that is with Starscream and Teletran X. So while Optimus, Hot Rod, Bumblebee, and Cheetor are out on their mission on the planet of Croatan trying to find Windblade, Starscream is getting a therapy session from Teletran X where he's just venting to Teletran X about his time as basically the most powerful Cybertronian, with the fact that he had merged with the Allspark. And we get some really funny dialogue between Teletran X and Starscream, where Teletran X is a horrible therapist to Starscream, and I honestly love how Starscream is just totally frustrated with Teletran X not getting him at all. But eventually Teletran X decides he wants to go ahead and try to build up trust with Starscream, so he does this by increasing the amount of space his prison cell has by 15%, and Starscream's just like reasonably totally confused and even more frustrated by this, until he notices that the force field is now closer to a nearby vent that's available. So Starscream tries to persuade Teletran X to give him even more space in the jail cell so that he can access the vent, but obviously doesn't tell him that, but just says that he'll trust Teletran X more if he does. So Teletran X, of course, being the idiot that he is, does it, and Starscream just takes the first chance he gets to escape through the vent. And honestly, as much as I love this, I gotta say, it is a bit frustrating to see just how much of an idiot Teletran X is, because we've seen him act like pretty smart back in, as much as I hated him in Season 1, he was pretty smart in Season 1. To see him fall so easily for this obvious trick that Starscream has, I mean, I get it, it's a kid's show, you gotta have your good guys make some mistakes, but again, it just, for me, it didn't really feel so good. But anyway, Starscream then leaves through the vent and plans to escape out of the Ark to get somewhere else, but as he gets out of the Ark, he bumps into Croatan as he leaves the planet and ends up grabbing onto, like, I think Croatan's leg as he flies out further into space. So now Starscream has escaped the Ark and is with Croatan, most likely going to get involved with the Quintessence as well if Croatan does end up running into them at the end of this season or in Season 3. So I'm really excited to see what Starscream is going to do with Croatan come the end of the season or Season 3. And so that was my review of Transformers Cyberverse Season 2, Episode 16, Ghost Town. If I had to rate this episode, I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. Honestly, the best episode in the Road to Cybertron arc so far. I love the surprise twist, but instead of some malevolent force that was possessing Windblade to try and, like, awaken some ancient evil, the fact that it was a Titan that Windblade had willingly let possess her so that she could revive him, I think that's a really cool twist. And the fact that Starscream's escape, while funny, it was a little bit, like, stupid on Teletran X's part, so that's what the half point comes off. But over that, it was just a really, really good episode. It honestly makes up for I Am the Allspark and Escape from Earth being rather lackluster ones. So that's going to be this episode. I'll be back soon with episode 17, Perfect Storm, which is where after that we'll only have one more episode left of season 2, and then it's on to season 3 in the new year. So are you guys excited for me to finally finish season 2? If you are, be sure to like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Take it away, Bumblebee.
Bumblebee out.
And I might know what our future, but then you still control the past.